So the procedure is done. As you can see, the bruising and swelling are minimal. This is how it should look. Why don't you give it a try? You will be very happy. The surgery would involve taking a piece of rib and putting it here. It'll make my eyes stand out and look bigger. I don't want it to look like a cartoon or anime face. We could have our own boat. And that was always kind of a wish list. It was a dream in my mind. I wish I could be asleep for this. We know very well that celebrities are known for their stunning looks. However, the quest to maintain their good looks often leads them to seek out plastic surgery that's less natural. While these procedures usually go off without a hitch, there are cases where they turn into total disasters. Join us as we dive into the intersection of wealth and plastic transformations. Here are 25 celebrities, their before and after moments, showcasing a mix of hilarious, strange, and frankly surprising transformations. Number 25, Katie Price. Katie Price, a well-known English media personality and model, stands out for openly sharing her plastic surgery experiences, unlike celebrities who keep these matters private. Embracing transparency, she alters her appearance fearlessly and without apology. Starting out as a natural-looking model, Katie boldly revamped her image at 30, and at 45, she continues to prioritize her happiness. In 1999, she underwent a significant transformation, increasing her breast size from 32B to 32,000 and refining the shape of her nose. In 2006, she proudly identified as fully plastic, fully embracing this unique identity in 2011. Over time, Katie's changes became more pronounced. In 2016, she went for fuller lips and a more radiant face. 2 years later, her appearance at an awards show was so different that onlookers had a hard time recognizing her. Her surgeries took a more extreme turn, with annual breast augmentation starting in 2019. Each implant weighs about 44 pounds, which raised concerns among some plastic surgeons about potential health impacts. Dr. Sco Felix, a medical professional, expresses concern about the frequency and extent of Katie's Indian surgeries, warning about potential health risks. In a world where many celebrities keep their surgical journeys a secret, Katie Price stands out for openly sharing her experiences with plastic surgery. Number 24, Jocelyn Wildenstein. Jocelyn Wildenstein underwent major transformations, not driven by personal desire, but to please her husband Alec. Unfortunately, this trend is pretty common, as you'll see in this list, and the results are often less than appealing. Jocelyn is a good example of this, as she embarked on a plastic surgery journey influenced by her husband's love for cats. Her goal is to achieve a feline look, but it is not a quest to emulate Catwoman or the Black Cat from the comics. Rather, it stems from her husband's passion for cats. Unfortunately, her numerous surgeries include procedures like eyelid lifts, upper and lower eyelid surgery, brow lifts, facelifts, lip fillers, chin augmentation, fat grafting, and cheek implants. The tragedy deepens when she finally divorces Alec and receives a substantial settlement. Despite the clear visual evidence of the surgeries, Jocelyn vehemently denied having undergone them for decades. Her denial can be attributed to the obvious addiction to surgeries, which reflects a deeply discouraging situation. Number 23, Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell, the famous English TV host and music executive known for shows like X Factor and Got Talent, has changed a lot, and people are talking about how he underwent plastic surgery in 2023. He said he did some extreme things to look younger, and it made him look very different, almost like a character from a horror movie. This surprised a lot of people and also made his young son, Eric, feel sad because he didn't like how his dad looked now. He said he did some extreme things to look younger, and it made him look very different, almost like a character from a horror movie. This surprised a lot of people and also made his young son, Eric, feel sad because he didn't like how his dad looked now. So, Simon tried to fix it. He got rid of some of the stuff he was putting on his face and decided to do less extreme things, like facials, instead of making big changes. Simon also started to care more about being healthy. Eat balanced meals, drink plenty of water, and it's not just about looking good, but also feeling good. He's making choices that are better for his overall well-being in a simple and natural way. Number 22, Anastasia Pokarchuk. Anastasia Pokarchuk, originally from Kiev, Ukraine, underwent several cosmetic procedures to change her appearance, like Botox, veneers, chin and jaw reshaping, and liposuction. The surprising thing is how different she looks after all these changes. Anastasia started doing these things when she was 26, and what makes her story unique is that she administered the filler injections herself. What's surprising is how different she looks after all these changes. Anastasia started doing these things when she was 26, administering the filler injections herself. She's confident in her skills because she continues to give herself filler injections to look perfect. She learned from online tutorials and says she follows strict hygiene, doing it like a doctor would for a patient. She's very confident in her skills because she keeps giving herself filler injections to look perfect. Anastasia now has very defined cheekbones and wants them to be the most prominent in the world. She's very confident in her skills because she keeps giving herself filler injections to look perfect. Anastasia now has very defined cheekbones and wants them to be the most prominent in the world. In a 2020 interview, she said she's determined to keep doing her own fillers, even though some doctors are worried about her choices. Number 21, Pixie Fox. Pixie Fox spent $120,000 on plastic surgeries to look like her favorite animated characters. Despite the subtle distinction between animation and anime, Pixie's body transformation is quite drastic. Her goal is to look like a mix of Tinkerbell and Jessica Rabbit, which led her to undergo numerous procedures, including a nose job, eyelid surgery, brow lift, lip and cheek fillers. For breast surgeries, a Brazilian butt lift, permanent makeup, and even the removal of 6 ribs, a quarter of the total. This quest was challenging at first, as she struggled to find a doctor willing to help, but she stayed positive until she finally found one. Pixie Fox encourages people to turn to plastic surgery to chase their dreams, a message that comes with potential risks, especially for young and impressionable individuals. This search proved challenging at first as she struggled to find a willing doctor, highlighting some positivity until she finally found one. Pixie Fox encourages people to turn to plastic surgery to chase their dreams, a message that comes with potential risks, especially for young and impressionable individuals. Her extreme choices, while her own, raise concerns about her mental well-being. Considering the efforts she has made and continues to make to achieve her desired appearance, the danger and potential consequences of her actions are clear. One can't help but wonder about the long-term impact on her health. Number 20, Jessica Alves. Jessica Alves, born male, recently came out as transgender and now presents herself as very feminine. However, the complexity lies in Jessica's initial desire to be recognized as the human Ken doll since she was 17, which led her to take extensive measures, including spending 650 pounds on body transformations. This involved removing 4 ribs and getting abdominal implants to create the illusion of a six-pack and transition to female. Later, Jessica faced additional surgeries, which cost her even more money, time, and effort. Her inspiration for her shape was the late Anna Nicole Smith, whom she admired while growing up. 2001. The tragic aspect becomes evident when Jessica has spent a total of $700 altering her body in 2 different ways and genders. The concern arises over the damage this could cause to her body if she undergoes more changes in the future, as the human body has its limits. Number 19, Zahar Tabar. People express themselves in many ways, like through music, dance, or colorful hair. Yuzin Fatima Kashan underwent surgeries to resemble Angelina Jolie. In 2017, people noticed her. At 50 years old, she underwent many surgeries to look like a zombie version of Angelina Jolie. This makes her story quite different. In 2017, people took notice of Tabar because of some photos that showed her looking like a creepy Angelina Jolie. We don't know exactly how many surgeries she had, but some say it was a lot. Tabar's story became even more interesting when she ran into some legal trouble in Iran. We don't know exactly how many operations he had, but some say it was a lot. Tabar's story became even more interesting when she ran into some legal trouble in Iran. She was accused of a vague crime called blasphemy and went to jail. At first, They said she would be in prison for 10 years, but then she was released on bail. The mix of her desire to look different and the legal troubles makes her story even more unusual. Number 18. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke's journey with plastic surgery is unique among celebrities seeking facial rejuvenation. Unlike others who face the aging process, Rourke's motivation came from the severe facial injuries he suffered during his time as a professional boxer, a career change he made in the 1990s. Despite his success in amateur boxing with 12 consecutive knockouts in the 1960s and 1970s, his transition to the professional ring took a toll on his face. After suffering 2 broken noses, a split tongue, a compressed cheekbone, and short-term memory loss, Rourke underwent multiple reconstructive surgeries to regain his facial features. Thousand, dissatisfied with the initial results, underwent more surgeries, which gave him his now practically unrecognizable appearance. To fix the damage, Rourke underwent 5 nose surgeries and 1 procedure to fix his damaged cheekbone, mainly aiming to correct injuries from his boxing career. Unfortunately, Rourke openly admitted that he made an unfortunate choice in selecting the surgeon responsible for his facial reconstruction. Number 17. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson changed a lot because he had a ton of plastic surgeries. If you look at his photos when he was young and compare them to the ones from before he passed away in 2009, you can see a huge difference. His journey into plastic surgery involved many procedures, some to fix things that didn't go well before it all started. When he wanted to improve his nose, the legend says he wasn't sure how it would turn out, so he convinced his sister LaToya to try it first. When everything went well, he had his nose done in 1979, and that was the start of his big transformation. Experts like Dr. Ada Gorbas believe that Michael Jackson may have had around 100 surgeries. Some of these made him look very different, and it even became hard to tell what his ethnic background was. Although we don't know all the details, Dr. Wallace Goodstein, who worked with Jackson's surgeons in the 1990s, shared a list. He underwent multiple nose surgeries, cheek implants, eyelid surgery, and a chin cleft. Surprisingly, Dr. Goodstein said that Jackson would undergo several surgeries every 2 months, sometimes up to a dozen procedures at a time. This shows how committed he was to changing his appearance. Number 16. Han Myoku. Han Myoku had a problem with plastic surgery. It all started when she was 28 years old, trying to get perfect skin. She went to Japan for a lot of surgeries, but then the doctors refused to do any more. When she returned to Korea, she had changed so much that her parents didn't recognize her. At first, she tried to get help for her mental health, but then she found a surgeon who gave her silicone injections and supplies so she could do it herself. When she ran out, she put cooking oil on her face, which caused her major issues like swelling and scars. People felt sorry for her and donated money, but even after 10 surgeries, she couldn't fix everything. Now, at 60 years old, she works at a thrift store and gets help from the government. She really hopes to look like she did before showing how bad plastic surgery can be. Number 15. Tiffany Taylor. In a peculiar story, Tiffany Taylor has spent her entire adult life trying to look like Ivanka Trump. This unusual behavior is quite the oddball, as Taylor inexplicably believes Ivanka Trump is the ultimate female role model. Despite the questionable logic behind this goal, Taylor has undergone numerous surgeries to emulate Donald Trump's daughter, whom she sees as a role model for all women. Surprisingly, Taylor underwent 13 surgeries in just 1 year, including 2 breast augmentations, a nose job, and several cheek fillers. However, her desire for more changes was thwarted when the doctors, seemingly concerned, refused to perform any more surgeries on her appearance. This unique obsession started after the end of her 10-year marriage, leading to speculation about whether Taylor's pursuit has more to do with seeking emotional support than with the desire to undergo multiple cosmetic procedures. Taylor's journey to transform herself included liposuction, lifts, tweaks, and enhancements all over her body and face. Unfortunately, despite all these modifications, it seems that Taylor hasn't achieved the look of a Trump family member. People trying to identify the celebrity she resembles have suggested Britney or Christina, but no one has accurately guessed Ivanka. Maybe this confusion is more because Ivanka has generic features than because Taylor hasn't met her goals. The mystery continues, leading to contemplation about why Taylor is so determined to imitate someone whose likeness remains hard to achieve. Number 14. Victoria Wilde. Victoria Wilde from Latvia underwent multiple procedures, including 3 breast augmentation surgeries that increased her breast size to a sizable G, as well as permanent lip implants and Botox. The goal was to look like an inflatable love toy, highlighting a worrying aspect of society's expectations and values. What's equally concerning is that her sugar daddy and her modeling agency funded these transformations, which highlights the social acceptance of such extreme changes. Wilde admits that her transformation came from feelings of inferiority, but now she embraces the attention and doesn't mind being seen as a $1 inflatable human. Number 13. Nanette Hammond. Nanette Hammond was not afraid to undergo numerous surgeries, spending more than $500,000 to improve her appearance. Surprisingly, she expressed her desire to undergo more surgeries to look younger and improve her life. Equally worrying, she claimed she would continue these procedures until she was 70, meaning she had been doing them for more than half her life just to look like a Barbie. To top it off, she even landed a role in a reality show to document the process. This situation raises concerns about the influence of Hollywood and its impact on society. Number 12. Blondie Bennett. Blondie Bennett, the name she later adopted for the album, has been fascinated with the Barbie aesthetic all her life. In her quest to look like the plastic doll, she underwent numerous surgeries, even going so far as to have clothes and hairstyles identical to those of a real Barbie in photographs, a choice that some may find strange. Now, delving into the psychological aspect, Bennett is so committed to embodying the essence of a doll that she is undergoing hypnotherapy to intentionally diminish her cognitive abilities. Yes, you read that right. She's actively trying to become more ditzy and forgetful so that, in her words, people see her as a sex doll. It's surprising that after transforming her body to look like a Barbie, she now wants to shed her human thoughts. She even jokes about the success of the treatments and is happy with her altered mental state. It's amazing that after transforming her body to look like a Barbie, she now wants to detach herself from her human thoughts. She even jokes about the success of the treatments and is happy with her altered mental state. It's a remarkable choice that leaves people stunned. You can't help but question the motivation behind such drastic measures. Number 11. Nikki Exotica. Let me introduce you to Nikki Exotica, also known as Nicole Sanders. Reports say that Nicole has spent an astonishing 750 pounds on a series of extensive cosmetic surgeries, willingly risking her life in the process of transitioning to Nikki. Yes, Nikki was initially a man, but that's no longer the case. Nikki has spent about 2 decades undergoing numerous surgical procedures, all aimed at transforming herself into a real-life version of a Barbie doll. It's worth noting that Nikki's journey is unique, as from an early age, she felt an internal discomfort with her male identity. This led her to idolize Barbies and eventually undergo significant surgical modifications to embody that image. However, the question remains, was this the right decision? This led her to idolize Barbies and eventually undergo significant surgical modifications to embody that image. However, the question remains, was this the right decision? And is it justifiable to take such extreme measures with your own body? Number 10. Jordan James Park. If I were to reveal that the Kardashian-Jenner clan opted for plastic surgery, I'd probably get a response of no surprise. It's a fact that these women are famous for their body transformations, often accompanied by denials, all in the pursuit of greater adoration. However, there's another side to this story, exemplified by someone like Jordan James Park, who underwent numerous surgeries in an attempt to emulate Kim Kardashian. Interestingly, the results were far from what I expected. First of all, her lips ended up being disproportionately large, and after undergoing multiple nose surgeries, she faced the consequences of breathing problems. This is yet another example of a passionate fan trying to reflect their idol, only to face significant and unexpected inconveniences. It's crucial to recognize that the Kardashians may not be the most admirable role models, and trying to emulate them beyond some of their fashion choices could have costly consequences. Number 9. Khloe Latanzi. Being the daughter of a celebrity isn't always a walk in the park, and Khloe Latanzi is a clear example of that challenge. Olivia Newton-John's daughter faced challenges like body dysmorphia, anorexia, and addiction. As a teenager among celebrities, she developed mental struggles, leading to anorexia. This turbulent time led her to plastic surgery to alter her appearance. When she was a teenager surrounded by celebrities, she started experiencing psychological difficulties that led her to suffer from anorexia by the end of her teenage years. This turbulent period drove her to undergo plastic surgery to change her appearance. Unfortunately, her lack of understanding about the underlying reasons behind these decisions led her to undergo the surgeries and then to reverse them. The silver lining of this ordeal is that she speaks openly about her journey and the pain it caused her. It is hoped that sharing her experience will resonate with others, emphasizing that the surgical route may not offer the solutions they are looking for. Number 8. Justin Jedlicka. It features Justin Jedlicka, who as of 2017 had undergone a staggering 190 surgeries and 340 cosmetic procedures, a count that could be even higher today. His fascination with transforming his body goes back to the 90s when he was inspired by the TV show The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. While watching the show, he developed the desire not just to be rich, but also to emulate the appearance of the wealthy people featured. When he found out that rich people often undergo plastic surgery, he decided to undergo a transformation to look like them, specifically aiming to resemble Ken. Justin's journey began at 18 with a nose job and bicep and tricep implants. Upon learning that rich people often undergo plastic surgery, he decided to undergo a transformation to look like them, specifically with the goal of looking like Ken. Justin's journey began at 18 with a nose job and bicep and tricep implants. After being bullied for his looks, he took steps like shaving his brow bone and getting a lift. He's had over 300 surgeries, acknowledging his addiction and satisfaction with pushing procedural limits. He even had 4 implants in his back to mimic wings. Justin's choices may seem puzzling, but he embraces them. In a distinctive move, he had 4 custom-designed implants placed in his back, aiming to create the illusion of wings. Justin's decisions may seem puzzling, but he wholeheartedly embraces them. He's even gone on to form a romantic connection with another wealthy person who has a significant history of plastic surgery, even appearing on a millionaire matchmaking series. Justin doesn't just push the limits. He has even formed a romantic connection with another wealthy person who has a significant history of plastic surgery, even appearing on a millionaire matchmaking series. Justin doesn't just push the limits. In many ways, he is the limit. However, his path may not be one that others should aspire to emulate. Number 7. Donatella Versace. While we can't definitively confirm the extent of Donatella Versace's cosmetic procedures without her personal disclosure, it's inaccurate to claim that she hasn't had any work done. The Italian fashion designer and sister of Gianni Versace, who is around 60 years old, has an exceptionally smooth and wrinkle-free face, which is quite rare for her age. Several visible signs suggest possible cosmetic enhancements. The changes in the shape of her nose towards a slimmer, pointier look, less droopy upper eyelids, fuller cheeks, and altered lip shape suggest the possibility of cheek implants and lip augmentation. In 2014, Donatella was captured with an exceptionally glowing appearance, attributed by using cosmetic surgery clinical director Mark Norfolk to extensive use of Botox. Norfolk explains that Botox can result in a stretched, shiny, and line-free forehead that aligns with Donatella's appearance. Norfolk also points out the unusual absence of lines or wrinkles on her forehead for a woman her age and the slightly squinted appearance of her eyes, indicating possible Botox use. Considering these signs, it's reasonable to infer that Donatella may have undergone Botox or other cosmetic treatments to maintain her youthful appearance. Number 6. Jo Chuna. Chuna, a 17-year-old Chinese influencer, became a sensation on Weibo by detailing her extensive experience with plastic surgeries. In just 3 years, she went from a regular appearance to a doll-like idol, undergoing more than 100 surgeries starting at the age of 13. During her school days, she endured teasing and challenging tasks from her classmates. In just 3 years, she went from an ordinary-looking figure to a doll idol, undergoing more than 100 surgeries starting at age 13. During her school days, Jo endured teasing and challenging assignments from her classmates. Determined to change her appearance, she convinced her parents to fund her first double eyelid surgery. The remarkable transformation led to a change in how others treated her. Jo's surgical journey continued with several using procedures including fillers, ear cartilage, rhinoplasty, Barbie eye surgery, breast implants, and liposuction. The pandemic slowed down her surgical pace, but she managed to have surgery 20 times last year. Despite side effects, Jo Chuna believes the transformations are justified. Her parents, who invested over $620 in her surgeries, had to fund her procedures or let her drop out. Jo Chuna's story shows the interplay of self-image, social pressures, and the pursuit of beauty. Her parents, who reportedly invested over $620 in her surgeries, faced the ultimatum of either funding her procedures or letting her drop out of school. Jo Chuna's story serves as a vivid example of the intricate interplay between self-image, social pressures, and the unyielding pursuit of beauty. Before we continue, here's today's subscriber selection. Dear viewers, look at this image. This is Christina Aguilera. Over the years, pop sensation Christina Aguilera has gone through a series of intriguing transformations that have captured the curiosity of her fans. The initial change was a subtle nose job aimed at enhancing the shape without significantly altering her appearance. After that, lip fillers were introduced in her cheeks, giving her the plump and voluptuous lips we know. Then cheek fillers and Botox injections were used to sculpt her face, adding definition to her features. And she didn't stop there. Aguilera also opted for a lip corner lift, giving her a more pronounced shape to balance out her pointed chin. The introduction of a jaw implant further harmonizes her facial contours. The transformations continued with multiple breast augmentation surgeries, which included implants and their removal and replacement with new ones. These procedures, done with care, continue to be a source of fascination for her fans. Tell us what you think about her looks. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Number 5. Carrot Top, also known as Scott Thompson, stands out as a prominent actor and stand-up comedian, earning praise for his vibrant personality and exceptional performances in stand-up comedy. His comedic talent has led him to appear on major platforms such as The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and he has even taken on the role of host for Cartoon Network. Despite her established success, the evolution of the top car's appearance as she approached 50 has sparked curiosity, leading to speculation about possible plastic surgery. The changes in his physique, ranging from lean to muscular and back to lean, have sparked discussions about whether these changes are due to lifestyle choices or cosmetic interventions. In response to plastic surgery rumors, Carrot Top emphatically denies any involvement in such procedures. He attributes his chiseled face and sculpted jawline to adjustments in his lifestyle, emphasizing his unwavering commitment to a rigorous exercise routine as the main factors driving his physical transformation. Infusing the conversation with humor, he jokes that if he had plastic surgery, he might come out looking even better. However, he firmly states that he hasn't undergone any such procedures, maintaining the authenticity of his evolving appearance. Number 4. Valeria Lukianova. Introducing Valeria Lukianova, originally from Moldova, who has dedicated a significant part of her adult life to an unconventional and exceptionally unique goal. She aims to imitate the iconic Barbie doll. However, it's not just about rocking bleached hair and wide-eyed looks. Lukianova's mission is to authentically embody the very essence of a Barbie. 2001, with her distinctive proportions and peculiar measurements to a surreal point, seems to have achieved this extraordinary goal, blurring the line between being human and a doll. Lukianova's transformation into a real-life Barbie hasn't been without controversy. While her doll-like appearance has garnered attention, she has faced criticism for expressing disturbing views in several interviews. However, her journey highlights the undeniable truth that in the realm of physical appearance, uniqueness and extremes inevitably draw attention. Number 3. Neven Seganovic. A famous 45-year-old Croatian stylist and reality TV personality. He's known for appearing on Croatian reality shows and for having undergone many cosmetic surgeries. Recently, Jelliston talked about something strange that happened to him after his last surgery. He ended up with a lasting erection. Neven traveled to Iran for his third nose job because it was cheaper, but he had to quickly return to Belgrade. This lasting erection is due to an uncommon issue called priapism, caused by an allergic reaction to the medication. It's a serious problem that requires quick attention. According to the French Virology Association, it's important to treat it properly to avoid issues and permanent erectile dysfunction. Despite this unexpected problem, Neven Seganovic still really enjoys getting surgery. He even said that he just wants one more surgery to look the way he wants and be famous all over the world. Number 2. Linda Evangelista. Linda Evangelista, the esteemed Canadian model celebrated for appearing on more than 700 magazine covers, recently suffered an unforeseen consequence following a cosmetic procedure. While her everlasting beauty remains evident, noticeable changes to her appearance were observed as a result of what she described as a brutally disfiguring experience with a cosmetic treatment. Drawn in by the promises of cool sculpting ads that offered non-surgical fat reduction with minimal recovery time, Linda succumbed to the allure of targeting those stubborn areas. In her candid admission, she acknowledged being a bit vain. Unfortunately, Linda's experience with cool sculpting didn't go as expected. In her candid admission, she admitted to being a little vain. Linda's experience with cool sculpting was disappointing. Despite FDA approval and its effectiveness for many, it didn't work for her. After 7 sessions between 2015 and 2016, she noticed lumps in her bra area, chin, and thighs after 3 months. These areas expanded, hardened, and lost sensitivity. A medical consultation revealed she had paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, a rare condition affecting less than 1% of patients. Contrary to what she expected, these areas expanded, hardened, and lost sensitivity. When seeking a medical consultation, Linda was diagnosed with paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, a rare condition that affects less than 1% of cool sculpting patients. This diagnosis meant that traditional measures, like diet and exercise, wouldn't solve the problem. In response to her distressing experience, Linda took legal action against the parent company, Celtic Aesthetics Inc., seeking $50 million in damages. Number 1. Joan Van Ark. Joan Van Ark, a famous actress, hasn't talked much about her plastic surgery in interviews, but when you look at photos of her from a long time ago and compare them to more recent ones, it seems like she might have had some cosmetic work done, maybe more than once. In the older photos, Joan looked more natural, but in the recent ones, her skin appears tighter. Some experts believe she might have received different treatments, like facelifts, injections, cheek implants, Botox, and maybe even a brow lift. In the older photos, Joan looked more natural, but in the recent ones, her skin appears tighter. Some experts believe she might have received different treatments, like facelifts, injections, cheek implants, Botox, and maybe even a brow lift. Although she's well known for her roles in TV and movies, people talk about her possible surgeries. Someone who saw Joan in 2020 thought her face looked strange, like it was melting. Although she is well known for her roles in television and movies, people are talking about her possible surgeries. Someone who saw Joan in 2020 thought her face looked strange, like it was melting. A plastic surgeon, Dr. Anthony Yuen, suggested that her big change could be due to too many plastic surgeries, perhaps a couple of facelifts that made her neck and jaw too tight. Dr. Yuen also noticed that her forehead had no wrinkles, which could be due to Botox and a brow lift. We can't be sure about the surgeries without Joan telling us herself, but with all that's being said, it seems like there might be some truth to it. As they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.